Today I would like to invite you to listen to the Dhammapada of the Buddha Shakyamuni, the 72nd verse from the Buddhist scriptures on the YouTube channel TN Thai in the USA. To his ruin. Indeed, the fool gains knowledge and fame. They destroy his bright lot and cleave his head. Beloved listeners, the words of the Buddha shine like a lamp in the darkness. This verse sounds simple, yet it opens the deepest teaching about the mind that clings to pride and ignorance. The Buddha did not reject learning, nor did he reject fame. What he revealed is the hidden danger when knowledge. Lack of learning. He is foolish because he does not know how to use learning for liberation. The Buddha spoke this verse to awaken us from that danger. The danger of spiritual pride. The danger of ego hiding behind wisdom's robe. When one studies the Dharma and speaks beautiful words but does not live in compassion and humility, that is the path of ruin. That is the path where knowledge and fame destroy one's bright destiny. Let us remember the story behind this verse. In the time of the Buddha, there lived a Brahmin named Kapila. He was learned in scriptures, skilled in debate, renowned for his intellect. People came from far lands to learn from him, but he was filled with arrogance. His fame made him blind. He began to mock monks and saints. He mocked those who practiced simplicity and meditation. He said, "I know more than the Buddha. I know more than his disciples." His words became sharp as swords. He forgot that wisdom without things but knows not himself. The fool can speak about the truth but cannot live in truth. Dear friends, the verse says, to his ruin. Indeed, the fool gains knowledge and fame. It means that learning without humility is poison. Fame without virtue is fire. Both can destroy the seed of awakening in one's heart. When one learns the Dharma to boast, to argue, to seek admiration, the path of liberation becomes the path of bondage. The ego grows strong like a vine strangling a tree. Therefore, the Buddha teaches us to hold learning with mindfulness, to use knowledge as a boat, not as a throne. The fool seeks to rule with words. The wise seek to serve with silence. The fool uses wisdom to build a name. The wise use wisdom to build compassion. The fool collects teachings like jewels in a chest. The wise lives the teaching like water flowing to all beings. When we truly understand this verse, our hearts become gentle. We no longer rush to prove ourselves right. We no longer seek recognition. We study and practice only to free ourselves from ignorance. When we bow to the Dharma, we bow not because we are small, but because we see the vastness of. The bright lot means the potential of a peaceful future, the pure karma of goodness, the natural light of the Buddha nature within. When pride enters the heart, that light becomes covered with dust. When fame is chased, that light becomes shadowed by desire. When knowledge becomes attachment, it splits our mind into confusion. That is the meaning of cleave his head. In the spiritual life, there is no greater obstacle than self-conceit. The Buddha called it mana, the conceit that says, "I know, I am better, I am right." This conceit is subtle and deep. It hides even under our robes of compassion. It disguises itself as spiritual confidence, but its mark is always separation. The conceitful mind cannot bow. It cannot surrender. It cannot see the equality of all beings. Thus, it brings ruin. To walk the path of awakening, we must transform conceit into humility, knowledge into service, fame into offering. When one speaks the Dharma, speak gently. Speak to awaken, not to win. When one studies the scriptures, study to apply, not to boast. When one receives praise, turn it into gratitude, not pride. The fool gains knowledge and fame, but the wise gain peace and, like the sun, let us pause and reflect. How often have we learned something and felt proud? How often have we wanted others to see how much we know? How often have we been quick to speak, but slow to listen? These are the moments the verse warns us about. They are small seeds of ruin. If watered by ignorance, they will grow into suffering. When we see the arrogance of Kapila, we are not to judge him. We are to see ourselves in him. Each of us has a little Kapila in our hearts, a little pride that whispers, "I already know. I am already wise." When we hear that voice, smile gently and bow. Let humility wash it away. For humility is the fragrance of wisdom. The Buddha's compassion is limitless. Even when he warned about the fool's ruin, he did so with love. He wanted us to see the hidden fire beneath the ashes of knowledge. He wanted us to walk with mindfulness and gentleness. Every time we learn something new, we should dedicate it for the benefit of others. Every time we receive praise, we should remember the teacher, the Sangha, the Dharma that nourished us. Knowledge is a tool. Wisdom is the path. Compassion is the destination. When all three unite, enlightenment blossoms naturally. When one is missing, suffering returns. The fool separates them. The wise joins them. Let us practice the verse in our daily life. When we study, let us remember the Buddha's intention. When we speak, let us remember the listener's heart. When we receive recognition, let us remember impermanence. Then knowledge will not destroy us. Fame will not deceive us. The light of wisdom shines not through words, but through kindness. When our actions reflect the Dharma, when our heart embraces all beings, then learning becomes liberation. So today, as we listen to the Dhammapada, let us take this verse not as judgment, but as guidance. Let it be the mirror that reflects our hidden pride. Let it be the lamp that leads us to humility. When we understand this verse deeply, even a fool can become wise. Even a heart filled with pride can blossom into compassion. That is the power of the Buddha's words. To his ruin, indeed, the fool gains knowledge and fame. They destroy his bright lot and cleave his head. Dear friends, the words of the Buddha always carry both a warning and a blessing. Within each warning hides the doorway to liberation. The Buddha never condemns. He only awakens. When he speaks of the fool who gains knowledge and fame to his ruin, he is showing us how easily the human heart can lose its balance between knowing and being. To know something is not yet to be free. To understand intellectually is not yet to realize truth. The path from knowledge to wisdom is the path of humility. A fool may gather the words of the Buddha. He may repeat them fluently. He may teach others. Yet his mind remains bound by craving and self-interest. This is not because the teachings are weak. It is because his heart has not opened. The fool gathers teachings the way a merchant gathers gold. He counts and measures them. He feels richer with every new verse he memorizes. But he never spends his treasure. He never uses it to bring peace to himself or others. That is why the Buddha said his knowledge leads to ruin. What is not shared through compassion decays into pride. What is not practiced with mindfulness becomes poison to the soul. Fame too is dangerous when not guided by wisdom. Many people wish to be known. They wish to be seen. They wish to be praised. But fame is like a shadow that follows the self. When the self disappears, the shadow is gone. If one seeks fame without knowing the emptiness of self, then fame will only feed the fire of craving. When people praise you, you feel joy. When people blame you, you feel pain. This is the chain of attachment that binds even the learned fool. True fame is not in the eyes of the world. True fame is the fragrance of virtue. It spreads naturally without effort. When the mind is pure, when the heart is kind, when one lives according to truth, others may sense it and feel peace in. The humbler one becomes. Why? Because true knowledge reveals the vastness of what is yet unknown. The wise bow before truth. The fool stands tall and declares, I have arrived. When one believes he has arrived, he stops walking. When one believes he knows, he stops learning. Thus his path ends in ruin. The Buddha's way is endless learning, endless humility, even as he attained perfect mirrors of the Dharma. When the Buddha spoke this verse about the fool's ruin, he also pointed to the gentle power of right intention. Learning the Dharma with right intention purifies the heart. Learning it for fame and power corrupts it. Intention is the seed that determines the fruit. If you plant the seed of ego, you reap suffering. If you plant the seed of compassion, you reap heavy with pride. But when someone studies with the wish to understand life and help others, his heart becomes soft. His mind becomes light. He speaks gently. His wisdom benefits everyone. The fool's ruin comes not from knowledge itself, but from the absence of right view. The Buddha called it mikadaihai, wrong understanding. It is the root of all delusion. When the fool sees knowledge as possession, he is already lost. The Dharma is not something we can own. It is something we must become. The more we cling to it as mine, the more it slips away. Think of water. When you cup it in your hands, it stays for a while. But if you try to hold it too tightly, it leaks through your fingers. Knowledge is like that. It stays in the heart that is open and calm. It escapes from the heart that grasps and claims. Kapila the Brahmin knew the words of sacred texts, yet he mocked the path of virtue. He saw learning as a ladder to climb above others. His fame became his downfall. In his pride, he insulted the noble ones. In his anger, he lost the path. The Buddha told this story to remind us that arrogance brings blindness. When the light of wisdom shines without compassion, it blinds rather than guides. We can imagine the inner state of such a person, surrounded by followers, filled with praise. He feels great joy, but when alone, he feels restless. His mind is troubled. He fears being forgotten. He fears that others may surpass him. This fear is the suffering of fame. It eats away at the peace of the heart. The wise person lives differently. He does not chase fame, yet his life naturally inspires others. His words are calm. His conduct is consistent. His humility draws love. His wisdom brings comfort. He walks quietly, yet the world remembers him for generations. That is the fame of enlightenment. Dear friends, if you wish to study the Dharma deeply, always begin with humility. Sit down before the truth as a child, before the ocean. No matter how much you learn, remember that the waves are endless. Every teaching opens another door. Every insight shows another horizon. The Buddha's compassion is infinite. The Dharma cannot be exhausted. The fool's mind says, I already know. The wise mind says, teach me more. The fool seeks to speak. The wise seeks to listen. The fool wants to be admired. The wise wants to understand. These are the simple differences that separate the path of ruin from the path of awakening. The verse says, they destroy his bright lot and cleave his head. This is a vivid image. The bright lot is like a garden of virtue. When pride enters, it tramples the flowers. The fool's head is split because his thoughts are divided. He speaks of truth, but acts in falsehood. He knows the path, but walks in the opposite direction. This inner conflict tears the mind apart. The Buddha invites us to restore harmony, to unite our knowledge with practice, to unite our words with action, to unite our understanding with compassion. When these come together, the light of the mind grows steady. No more inner division, no more ruin. In this age of information, the verse is more relevant than ever. We have access to countless teachings. Many people know the words of the Buddha, but the real question is, how many live them? How many breathe them? In daily conduct? To know is easy. To be is profound. The fool stops at knowing. The wise continues until being. Let us not rush in learning. Let us move slowly and deeply, like water seeping into the earth. True understanding takes time. When you read a sutra, do not hurry to explain it. Sit with it. Breathe with it. Let it dissolve into your life. When you speak the Dharma, speak from your experience, not from borrowed words. Then your speech will carry the fragrance of truth. This is how knowledge becomes wisdom. This is how fame becomes offering. This is how ruin turns into awakening. The fool's downfall becomes the disciple's lesson. The Buddha never wastes suffering. Even the story of Kapila, though tragic, becomes a lamp for us. It teaches that learning without humility burns the mind, but humility with learning illumines it. Therefore, we must guard our heart carefully. Every time we learn something new, ask yourself, do I seek to awaken or to boast? When praise comes, ask, do I receive it with gratitude or pride? When you notice pride arising, smile and bow. Let it melt in awareness. Awareness is the water that cools the fire of ego. If we live in this mindfulness, we will never be ruined by knowledge. We will be blessed by it. For knowledge guided by compassion is wisdom. Wisdom expressed through humility is enlightenment. And enlightenment lived through service is the true glory of a human being. Thank you for watching my video. DHAMMAPADA. I wish to bring this merit towards all disciples and sentient beings, all of whom will attain Buddhahood. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate your time.